Yo, welcome to another Depression Talks live stream. I believe that we are live, but just to make sure, at the beginning of this live stream, I'm just going to say a few announcements so a few more people can join. This is a live stream that we do to have an open and honest conversation about difficult topics, and today's topic is going to be about, is it good or bad to be alone? Is being alone or lonely, are those two the same thing? And we're also going to be breaking down how it feels to be alone sometimes when you are at home, you're on your phone, you're playing games by yourself, maybe you're watching TV, and then all of a sudden something comes on the TV that makes you sadder. Why does that happen? Maybe it makes you happy. Maybe you love being alone. If you can, just share your thoughts on your feeling of being alone, and do you feel lonely right now? Before we jump in more into it, another announcement I want to make sure you know, the Depression Talks podcast is on Spotify. You can find it on Spotify, I think Podbean, Apple Podcast. If you're here from the podcast, that is so dope. I appreciate you. And if you just joined, this is your first time joining a live stream, then of course, welcome again. And the last thing I do want to make sure that you know, we are going to be sharing at the end some activities that, about 5 activities that you can do alone that will bring you happiness or that will help you just kind of relieve stress, because being alone can suck sometimes. All right. Again, it just depends on the type of person you are. Lastly, I keep saying lastly a lot. My name is Immanuel. I'm a mental health motivational speaker, and this is the Depression Talks YouTube channel, where DT Nation, all day, every day, we openly talk about mental health, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and how we work through those moments. Because as we all know, depression is no joke. So you are not alone, I promise you. If you're just stopping in, again, don't be afraid to say hi. And how are you feeling today on a scale of 1 to 10? So 10 being I'm extremely excited, 1 being I'm extremely depressed, and then 5 being like, yeah, I'm all right. What's up, Princess Momo? How you doing? Love from South Africa. South Africa is in the house. That's wild. Okay, all right. I'm excited right now to be talking to you about this because, you know, sometimes I feel lonely, sometimes I feel alone. And to know how other people think, like, what do you think about those moments when you're with your thoughts, when it's just you, no one else around? And sometimes we get alone. I guess we'll just jump into it, but I forgot one more thing to let you know about. It is the Patreon Mental Health Warriors group. I apologize. So if you are someone that does try to motivate yourself to get through life, to push through moments when you're feeling low, you should definitely check out the Mental Health Warriors Patreon group. I left all the links at the beginning of the chat. You should definitely check out that group, because there we share concepts that help us push through those moments. I share life quotes. I share what I write down in my journal. And I also share thoughts that don't get me flagged here on YouTube for being too dark. Because as we know, depression does not care about how dark we feel, how happy we are. It can attack at any moment. It doesn't care about the holiday, age, religion. It don't care about it. So if you want to hear thoughts like that, I might get flagged here in this live stream just for saying that, for example. So check out the Mental Health Warriors Patreon group right there, and you will be able to connect with other people that are like-minded, that are pushing through these difficult times. All right. Well, I want to make sure that everybody had a chance to jump in before I started. It looks like we have 4 people joining, and I appreciate every single one of you that are here right now, because we're jumping into it. All right. High five already to you for being here. Okay. So being alone, being lonely, how do you pass your time when you are alone? That is the first question of 7 that I have. How do you pass your time when you are alone? Are you as I mentioned at the beginning, on your phone a lot of the time, or you're playing the game, you're just by yourself, you're at home. And maybe doing these things is actually fun. You can actually be playing a game. You could be on your phone. I just did the opposite. You could be on your phone or playing a game, and that's how you find joy. That could be bringing you happiness. You just went through a whole entire workday and you're ticked off at how your workday went, and you don't want to go through that anymore. That's how you relieve stress. But sometimes you could be doing those same exact things and feeling depressed, feeling sad that nobody else is doing those activities with you. That's why I want to ask specifically, what do you do when you are alone? How do you pass your time? I like to give people a chance to respond before I just jump onto the next subject and just mumble on, because I notice that every single person spends their time differently when they're alone. Some people, they cry, some people feel down, they listen to music, watch Netflix. I recently am watching Last of Us. I'm so excited to be watching Last of Us. I played the game, and I spend a lot of my alone time studying, trying to understand how my mind works, because I live with generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. So I had to constantly try to figure out ways to improve my mindset, to improve my mental strength. So I watch YouTube videos. I watch podcasts. I listen to podcasts and see conversations that people are having, like how do they think about this, and what are their thoughts on success, what are their thoughts on health. And that's what I tried to do during my alone time to feel better. So what are some things that you do during your alone time? If you have no friends, if you have no family, if you have no partner, what are you doing during your alone time? All right. And I want to give some more examples of what I've seen, at least what I do sometimes. I watch TV. I just mentioned that, like, I watch TV. And then this one I don't necessarily do the most is going to the park. So leaving the house is something that is difficult sometimes to do by yourself if you're shy, if you struggle with anxiety. So maybe going to the park is honestly not the best thing for you to do, because you'll probably freak out. Or for you is getting air, stepping outside. Does that help you actually become more present? Help you calm down? It does for me. So let's see here. Eel Dorman says, I practice a skill, found a copywriting course. Wow. Hey, okay, that's pretty cool. Exercise, I practice guitar. Hey, I got my guitar over there. I might have to bring it over here. We can start playing together. Hold up. And try not to get on IG. Pray to Rosemary. So, pray the Rosary. Got you. Wow, you do a lot of activities that are self-expressive. Like you are practicing things, you're improving your own skills. All these things that I'm reading here, you try not to get on IG. And why is that? Why do you not try to get on IG? Is it because you don't like social media? Is it does it make you feel more alone? Because that goes back to that example of when you are on your phone. Like, are you not choosing to be on social media because it's unhealthy for you? Like I'm just genuinely curious. I'm on social media, right? But I'm even a social media manager, like full time. Like, so I'm working as a social media, social media, I'm on it a lot. And as you've heard, sometimes it can be overwhelming with all that information. I want to make sure I don't miss what you have to say. With all that information, like it can be overwhelming. Seeing people's lives, seeing people with their friends, seeing people travel, bad news. So why are you choose not to be on social media? What's up, Rasmus? How are you doing? What is good? What is good? Right now, we're just talking about loneliness. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are lonely out here. You know what I mean? Some of us be alone. And uh, I'm just curious if, do you think that loneliness is a bad thing? Or do you think it's a good thing? Is there a difference between loneliness and alone? What do you think? That's the conversation we're having today. Gemma's Journey Grace, what is good? Welcome to the live stream. I'm happy to be seeing you here as well. All right, so if you've already thought about these things, like, yeah, okay, I'm comfortable being alone. How comfortable do you feel being alone with your thoughts? That was question number 3. I already asked 2. How comfortable do you feel being alone with your thoughts? If I silence myself right now, right? Like if I just sat here and I just got quiet, I'm gonna get quiet for like 10 seconds. How alone are you right now, and how focused are you on what you're thinking? 3, 2, 1, go. How comfortable? Was this awkward? Nobody else is here. I mean, we're here together. I know you're here, but nobody else is here. I'm alone right now. I don't feel I don't feel as alone because we're here together, DT Nation, but I'm alone right now. It felt, I'll share how I felt, and I want to hear again, I want to read your thoughts. It felt comfortable being in silence and me shutting up, to be honest. Sometimes I don't like the sound of my voice. I'd rather hear what you had to say. So Rasmus A says, loneliness is bad because B, it's where someone is alone when she doesn't want to be. Okay. Let's see here. So loneliness is different than being alone. I love my alone time. As somebody on the autism spectrum, it's especially for me to self-soothe. I see. Did you always understand this distinction? Did you always feel you understood loneliness and alone were two different things? Il Dorman says, probably not as comfortable as I think. Okay. I love self-awareness. I think on my Instagram, which I look at that, we're already sharing that you don't want to be on Instagram as often. But I just do want to share that on my Instagram. I share quotes, and one of the recent quotes I shared was, self-awareness is attractive. So I think that Ilderman's comment of self-awareness is a very healthy thought. So probably not as comfortable as I think. I'm always listening to something or singing poorly. Hey, see, like I feel that, man. I wish you knew how much I feel that. Okay, it's like it sounds like if I'm understanding, you're doing something to try to like pass the time because you're not comfortable with either doing nothing, and is doing nothing a problem with being alone? So you're doing something to pass the time. Like I'm not. It's like that redundancy during those moments is what what led me to having this conversation that we're having together. Like, uh, um, so I hope I did understand what you mean by that when you listen to music and you sing, even though you don't sing poorly. Probably you probably like sing wonderfully. uh, but yeah, like so that made me very very happy. Um, so that actually was the fourth question that I had was how do you work through those moments of loneliness? For you, it's singing, listening to music. Uh, we've had, I believe Elerman did mention earlier as well that you spend time uh, copywriting. You just got a recent copywriting course, and you're exercising. You're staying off IG. So mentally, you're making decisions right now to be either productive or how do I say this? It seems like you took more time to spend time alone the way you want to, or you're figuring out more how you like to spend time alone. Because from what I'm reading right now, not not everybody is it happens overnight. Like, oh, yeah, I've just been a person that loves being alone my entire life. I've been a lone wolf. I've always had no friends. I always had no family. I always had no partner. Like, I love being myself and just being with me and being in my space and being in my bubble and my comfort zone and not my comfort zone, my comfort environment. I just like being in my comfort environment. And if that's you, that's dope. And that's why I want to hear your thoughts. Like, how do you help someone else then be more comfortable being alone the way you are? That's what this conversation is here for. Because not everybody is comfortable. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta make sure I do say this. Like, not everybody is comfortable having no friends. Not everybody is comfortable spending, weeks at a time talking to no one or no one calling them or no one texting them. And there's a ton of reasons why people could be alone. Somebody could be alone because they just moved to a new city. Somebody could be alone because they took a new job. Somebody could be alone because they just went through a breakup. Somebody could be alone because they're depressed. Somebody could be alone because they're shy and they're not taking steps to try to talk to somebody. Like, somebody can really be alone because they're just scared to talk to somebody. Like, they're just like, man, I'm really hesitant starting a conversation. Somebody could be alone for financial reasons. You could have to move to a new school and all of a sudden not know anybody at that new school. You're like, what the heck? I mean, there's a ton of reasons why, and during these reasons, whatever your reason, you could be feeling alone right now. What do you do to work through those moments healthily? How do you healthily cope through those moments? That's what I really wanted to see. So Gemma says, when I'm lonely, I write my poetry to get my emotions out. Oh, I like that. I really might have to go over there and just grab my journal just to show y'all, because I think journaling and writing down how you feel is extremely healthy, very healthy for you. And then Diet Pep, we actually are going to get into the 7 activities that I believe that you can do alone that do help you cope. That is a healthy way to cope with loneliness. So we're going to get into those activities here soon. So Gemma's Diet Pepsi. What's up, Diet Pepsi? Welcome. Hello all. I saw the title and had to join. Hey, here we go. Come on. You already know what it is. We get hugs out here, man. You already know how it is, man. Welcome to the live stream. I apologize. I did not ask beforehand. If you can, comment down below. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extremely happy and then 1 being extremely depressed, 5 being, where are you today on that scale? Excuse me. Where are you in this moment on that scale? uh, Joining the live stream this second, like where are you? Because I hope that the longer you stay, the more we talk, the more conversation, the more you express. Uh, I hope that that number that you're feeling now can go up by point 0.1, can go up by 2, can go up by 5, can go up by 3. If it goes down, then hey, let me know why, and I hope that the next one can be better, so that way we can all feel better, knowing we're not alone in this crazy thing called life. All right. So Luwe says, just now those lonely feeling were starting up in me. Got you, man. So watching your live streams helps a bit. That's why this. Okay. That makes me happy. All right, that makes you smile at least. Smile. You know what I'm saying? All right. Rasmus A says a 0. Yo, I am really happy you're still breathing and you are still here and you're still listening and you're a part of this conversation. Thank you. You rock. Thank you. Gemma Grace says a 5. So you're like on the fence of like, I don't care and I'm cool. You know, like half and half. So I do hope that this live stream does help. So let's get into the activities that personally I believe, if you are alone right now, and if you have no friends, if you have no family, you got nobody you feel like you can talk to, then okay, cool. I'll make sure I didn't miss anybody. So yeah, nobody you can talk to. What can you do to have fun? That's healthy. That helps you grow, that challenges you to increase your self-awareness and to hopefully feel less alone, or to hopefully feel less lonely and more alone, since alone, as we've discussed, if you've already been listening to this live stream, is different, okay? So being alone is better than feeling lonely, all right? So what can you do to feel less lonely and more alone, healthily? All right, so my first activity I thought of, and all these activities I've done myself, by the way, by myself, except for the second one. But so bowling, I personally enjoy going bowling. I love bowling. I haven't bowled in a long time, but because I gotta get through some health things and stretch. So, but if you can bowl, I suggest going bowling, putting some headphones on, getting your own lane, and just get one game. If you do 2 games, you might be sore. Do one game. Just you can. If you're upset, if you're angry, if things have been stressful for you, like, I'm seriously suggesting bowling. It's a great way to relieve stress by yourself. Another thing you can do is going to an open mic. Now, going to an open mic is a great way to stay like out of the scene. You could be alone and just be a part of the environment without somebody noticing you, and still be able to hear people's thoughts, and people share poetry and sing, and maybe somebody else shares a poem that relates to you so much that you start crying. But like, again, or you go home and you cry. You just reflect on other people sharing their experiences, their life experiences, without you having to talk to anybody. So if you're shy, this is a great way to connect with people without feeling like you're in the spotlight, alone. Another thing you can do is going to an art museum. Now, by the way, with this one, I want to go on an open mic. I was going to go to one this week, but I'm going to push myself to go to one next week because I wasn't feeling the best this week, and plus, I'm a shy person. So, the art museum. I love art. You gotta know right now, I love art. Okay. I love it. So if you think about going to the art museum, if you love art, I've been to the Chicago Museum of Art. I've been to the art in Barcelona, Picasso's art museum. So one thing I thought of definitely is an art museum. If you are alone, nobody to talk to, guess what? You can just walk in the museum, and I just think that nobody else is going to care that you're there because we're all there to experience the artwork and other people who have expressed their moments when they were alone, because these paintings take a long time, sculptures and you know. So art museum. All right, let me not geek out anymore. Another thing you can do is bike ride at a park. Now earlier I had mentioned that if I had mentioned that going to the park by yourself can be scary. So if you're going to the park by yourself, then people can be picnicking. That can make you feel more sad, right? I mean, if you're feeling lonely and you see couples walking or something, it's sometimes these things do happen. And if you're going to walk, then it's like you're walking. Everybody sees you, right? Oh my gosh, I'm walking, and everybody can tell that I'm by myself. I mean, these are a lot of thoughts that I go through sometimes. I know other people on DT Nation that have shared through your comments. So by going on a bike ride, you'll be able to move fast. This is actually why I like longboarding. You can move fast. Nobody can stop, and people stare at me a lot or glare, or I'm assuming too much, right? So by going on something fast, you're in nature, you're with your own thoughts, you're alone, feeling less lonely, hopefully, because you're surrounded in an awesome environment. All right, last two. A movie theater by yourself. Oh, this is a good question. I didn't think about this question before. Have you ever gone to the movie theater by yourself? Let's stop before I share that last one here. Let me go ahead and just So, have you ever gone to the movie theater by yourself? Ever? I just want to wait before I assume and jump in. I just want to give people time to. If so, what movie did you see? Was it Despicable Me? So yeah, have you ever gone to a movie theater by yourself? Let's see here. Lord Mage 30 says no, I haven't. Okay, so all right. I wish I had like a tally thing. I'm gonna have to do like hand in hand. So right now we have 2 no's. Diet Pepsi, you have not gone to the movie theater, and Lord Mage, you have also not gone to the movie theater. All right. Where Minnie says keep delivering these important messages, and thank you for sharing. Yo, hey, where Minnie? Okay. All right. Sorry, I got really excited. Okay. Let's see here. If anybody else has or has not. Okay. Lord Mage says not by myself. All right, so it seems like we have 2 for no. We have not gone by ourselves yet, which is completely okay. That's why we're doing these things. Is a challenge, right? It's like we can be alone and we can still do things that help us grow and challenge us to that push ourselves, because I mean, being alone does not mean, in my opinion, it's okay to be stagnant, okay? If you're alone, you can still do things to improve and feel better every day. All right, so right now we have 2. We have not gone to movie theater by ourselves. And then Eildorman says, yes, think Joker was the last movie I saw. Nice movie, by the way. That was a great movie. So yes, you have. Okay, you have. So we have 1 for yes, 2 we have not. That's dope. Lue says no, my anxiety would distract me from enjoying the movie. Okay, so 3 for no and 1 for yes. So Lue, you said that your anxiety. See, it's that anxiety, like that social anxiety. Sometimes it can keep us from having those friends or like talking to people that we don't know and strangers. So yeah, man, that anxiety, yeah. I still haven't seen Avatar. I've been wanting to go to the movie theater to see Avatar. I'm like, why have I not gone? I need to go. So strange. So I feel that. Erasmus says, so right now we have, I believe, yes, it's 3 no's and 1 yes. Rasmus says, I am not into film, so I don't think so, but I have done a lot of things alone. I got you. I got you. Okay, so 4 for no. So Rasmus, you said that just films ain't your thing, but there are other activities you've done alone. That's good. All right. And last one. So we have 5 for no, I think now, and 1 for yes. Doomed Gaming says, I would be scared to go by myself because of my social anxiety. So 6 for no, and then 1 for yes. Okay. So this is why I wanted to bring this up. This is why I find this conversation, as boring as people might find it. All right, I don't understand why people don't understand how loneliness does affect people's mental health, and a lot of people deal with it. So a movie theater is another activity that I find you can do by yourself that can bring you joy, that can inspire you, motivate you. I've gone to the movie theater by myself probably like 3 times in my life total, maybe 4. It's definitely a great outlet, a great challenge, a feat to overcome if you have anxiety. I have generalized anxiety disorder, so I feel you with the social anxiety. All right. And the last activity is journaling. Journaling. Now I wanted to show you my journal. Real quick, let me go ahead and grab it. I'm curious about how many people here journal. I don't think you can see me just yet. So, this is my journal. This is what I journal in. This thing is legit, exactly what I journal in. I'm not sure if this will show it or not, but like, this is where I journal. This is where I share my thoughts. I just write down. Again, in that this is the end there. How far have I gone? Okay. Oh, I gotta get a new one soon. So this is how much I've journaled in this so far. And this is how I have not. So that's like over a year, I think. All these thoughts, the reason why I'm sharing that so much and journaling is so important to me is because, again, at Patreon Mental Health Warriors group, when you journal, you're able to look at your own thoughts from an outside the box perspective. If you are feeling alone and you're kind of like, you're sitting there, you're just kind of like staring off into space. Just like now, right? You know what I mean? If you have anxiety, I can't imagine the amount of thoughts that might be going through your mind every day. So the only way that I personally have found for my GAD to get all those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of thoughts I have, is to get them out by journaling, by writing things down. These activities, I promise you, I would not recommend doing any of these things that I have not tried myself. This would be the only exception, which I want to go to an open mic. I really do. But journaling is a great way to express what you're going through. So there are a few activities that you can do if you're alone. You don't have to feel like when you're alone you can't do anything, When you're feeling lonely, there's nothing you can do. I have to have friends. Like I have to have somebody. I must do things with someone else in order to have fun, and that's just not true. I actually read in Lore Mage, I do see your questions. If you do have questions, that is another aspect of this live stream. We do typically at the end, where if you have any questions, then we just load them up, because that is the gist of the conversation of this live stream. So this is where we have an open dialogue between you and I and everyone here, so that way we all can learn from each other and grow together. I sound like a broken record, but I see that as a way that people grow, is when we talk. We're not talking to each other anymore. We're not even we're becoming more alone as a society because we're not having these conversations. We're not having this dialogue exchange. We're scared to. At least that's from what I've seen. So if you aren't journaling, I hope that you are journaling, because it's definitely a helpful thing to do. I'll do a rapid fire just for those who just missed it or now joining the live stream. Activities you can do alone: bowling. I said I was going to do rapid fire. All right, so bowling, open mic, art museum. If you're journaling, remember it's good to write these down. Art museum, a bike ride at the park instead of walking, so you feel less anxiety. Movie theater. It doesn't have to be Despicable Me, but Despicable Me is out here. And then journaling. You can also journal alone, which is having a conversation with yourself. Lord May says, I'm a shut-in, so I can't go anywhere by myself, and also have social anxiety, probably because of projections. Projections is a big thing I've learning about recently myself, so I feel that right there. I'm struggling to make or keep friends even more now than ever. Have you ever considered the app Meetup? Have you ever considered that app before? Meetup. I wish I can put it in the chat here. I have not personally found it helpful. I mean, okay, it's like I have found it helpful. I don't think that link will work, but I actually have found it helpful. It's just I had to be in a healthy state physically to go play volleyball and go do activities. Something that might help with your anxiety to push through, to go through these things, at least this is what I found to be helpful for myself, is I'm only going to places that if I talk to nobody and I still go there, I can leave knowing I had a good experience by myself. So I've been to the arcade twice now, or 3 times now, within the past year by myself. And I like going to the arcade by myself, even though I'm experiencing anxiety. I know people are looking at me or glancing at me. People look at everybody, but sometimes here in Indiana, it seems like they might look at me a little longer. So I just know that even if nobody talks to me, even though I might feel a little bit down, a little bit by that, right? Not really as much anymore, but because I've gone out by myself a lot and people don't talk to me, right? So I know that by me playing those arcade games and getting to the high score, I'm having a great time by myself. I'm doing an activity. So yeah, if I were to go to a mall and just try to go to a mall, that's way harder. That's I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's where can you go do an activity where you'll be enjoying yourself even if nobody talks to you? And that's why some of those activities I suggested were, if you do have social anxiety, well, going to movie theater is dark. Everybody's staring at the same screen, so not all eyes are on you. An arcade, that is a lot more populated, so that'd be harder to do. An open mic is still a dark setting where you can sit down in a corner somewhere or like in a table, just everybody's watching the stage, So I hope that these examples, again, are helpful. Diet Pepsi says, I never last long in an arcade, lack of funds, unfortunately. So I feel that, luckily the arcade that we have here is free, as long as you buy a drink. So if there's an arcade that's near you where the games are free, but you had to buy a drink, just buy an ale, right? But you can buy a non-alcoholic beverage, so that way You can play games without using quarters. Because I feel that if money's tight, that's also why a lot of these activities I try to suggest that like an open mic are typically free. Those things are normally free or $5 or less, and because money's tight right now for a lot of people. So a bike ride, if you buy a bike once, or if you already have a bike, but if you buy a bike once, then you can do the activity again and again and again. So I'll try to find activities that we can all do that are affordable, that are cost friendly, if not free. Even museums are sometimes free. So yeah, I do feel that. So I see Lord Mage just again shared that. Yeah, funds. Like I said, all these activities that I previously shared, bowling would probably be the most expensive activity out of all of them. That might be like $12 to $15. I think that's the most expensive activity. But going to the park is also free. Yeah, yeah, a lot of free activities there. All right. Okay. Well, it doesn't seem as though we might have a lot of questions. It seems like this is definitely a topic that, you know, a topic that a lot of people are familiar with, but I think haven't quite just sat down and just had a conversation about. Usually it's done as YouTubers. Usually it's kind of done in like, here are 5 things you can do to not feel lonely, and here are, if you do these 3 things, here are 3 tips that'll help you to feel less alone. And those are awesome videos. Those are needed videos. But I think that this is another, just an avenue, whether you're watching this now or on the playback, where you see that other people do feel alone. You see that other people, Lord Mage, for example, Erasmus, for example, I think what say, even that person, we feel alone from time to time, and our anxiety can hold us back from stepping out if we let it, because it is a fight. It's not even about me, you know what I'm saying, man? I can talk about times I felt alone and cried and all that, man. Feeling lonely, it hurts. Sometimes you can feel worthless, feel like nobody cares about you. So I hope, again, that this conversation, this live stream, just helped you feel less alone. It helped you just feel like, feeling lonely can stink, but I understand it's a fight to feel more comfortable with being alone. Is being alone a good or a bad thing? I think this live stream shows you that with effort, with stepping out of our comfort zones, with pushing our mental strength and mental boundaries, being alone and knowing what activities and things we like to do alone can help us feel less lonely by ourselves. All right. It's the last time I'm going to be asking, because I do believe we are about towards the end of the live stream. I tried to stay around for about an hour, but sometimes the conversation goes in a way where I feel like we both know that loneliness was talked about together right here. All right. So if you have any questions, right now would be definitely the time to ask those questions. I'll give a quick just reminder announcement while people are sharing the questions that they would like to ask. If you would like to check out the Depression Talks podcast, there are recently, as of last week, 61 episodes. And that's another way to connect with my thoughts on, honestly, my journey with depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. And an open conversation of dialogue, an open stream of consciousness, inside look into depression and mental health. But it's also another way to be motivated, to know that you're not alone and that somebody out there is rooting for you, to get through this. If you are interested in joining the Patreon Mental Health Warriors group, I shared that link. It's also in the description. But I forgot I gotta do that. So it's also in the description. But in that group, conversations like this continue. They don't stop on a live stream. I can't live stream every day. I can't talk to you every day. And as you know, we all have a life. I had to work, and that's not your problem. But if you do like this conversation, if you did find this helpful, then the Patreon Mental Health Warriors group is definitely a place you should check out to get more connected, to ask your questions, but more importantly, to share the moments that help you win when you're feeling low, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, feeling by yourself. So the Mental Health Warriors Patreon group, check that out over there. All right. Are there any questions that I missed while we are towards the end here? Lord May says, Discord friend list I probably pushed away because of me. Okay. I was going to ask questions, but it would be the same as yesterday probably. My family is finally starting to come around. I have issues with them, but they realized how I'm feeling. And they also gave me money to buy games online. I'm grateful about that. A part of me still can't forgive or trust them. And after all that, I felt like I'm ungrateful. Is that wrong to feel this way? So sometimes asking the same question needs to be asked because you can answer in so many different ways that might share a new perspective. So this whole entire feeling of ungratefulness, it's what's up, Oddity? How you doing, man? I appreciate it. And salutations back to you. Right on. I think that it's these type of that ungratefulness. I think that if you don't communicate how you're feeling, then you're harboring feelings and you're not being openly honest about how you feel. And that's worse. So if you're expressing how you feel, if you're talking about how you feel, then I think that is a great thing that you're doing, because not everybody shares what they're going through. Not everybody talks about what they're going through. So I hope that they are realizing the efforts that you're showing in trying to express how you feel. And hopefully you seeing that you are giving effort is making you feel less ungrateful, because you just said here that you are kind of like pushing to, like, you're being thankful for what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying, and you're showing effort. So I think that means a lot. And it should not go unnoticed. That's what I think. Eildorman says, I feel cut off when I'm with people, even when I'm leading the convo. Have you felt it? How do you deal? How to deal? Yeah, that's a... My mind typically goes into two places. That's a great question. I feel cut off when I'm with people, even when I'm leading the convo. Have you felt it? I definitely felt that I was talking too long, or I was boring somebody with my words, and they were trying to, I could just tell that they didn't care what I was talking about. So that kind of made me feel like I shouldn't talk to them, and I think that I think that if you're feeling cut off, if you're leading the conversation, my question to you would be, are you always starting the conversation? Are you always the person that's initiating the conversation? If you are, then that would make you feel, that could make you feel more cut off. That could be making you feel like, wow, I'm giving so much effort here. I'm trying so hard to talk to this person, and they're just not talking to me. Like, why are they not talking to me back? Like, I'm trying to talk to them. I'm trying to show them that I care to talk to them, and so that would be my question to you. Yeah, how many times are you initiating the conversation instead of the other person? That would make you, if you're doing it way more often, yeah. It can make you feel like they don't care about what you're saying, and that could definitely make you feel cut off. Oddity says you're incredibly appreciated. Yo, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here and saying that. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate you saying that. Right on. Right on. Okay, for Christmas. Okay. If you wish you're better, then continue to work on trying to become better, because becoming better and trying to be better is a life journey. It will never go away. So continue to try every day, as exhausting as it can be. Continue trying. All right? All right. Well, it looks like those were all the questions, and that was this awesome live stream of the Depression Talks live. And it was awesome because you were here with me. You were here sharing your thoughts. You were here letting me know what your thoughts are. If you have no friends, if you have no family, if you have no partner, if you are dealing with anxiety and depression, if you've done things alone. So I feel like I learned so much about being alone. I feel like after knowing what I'm going to remember everybody's name. I'm going to try my best to remember everybody's name, but I know now, like, there's people that are buying copyright courses to feel better. There's people that are listening to music and journaling, and there's people that are doing things when they're alone to express themselves. And that means a lot to me. So thank you for teaching me. Thank you for being a part of this live stream. And I think it's time to end it. And if you would like, after I end this live stream, to have the next conversation be about a certain topic, again, if you are commenting, if you are in the polls of the YouTube community chat, if you're answering, the more you share what you're going through, the more you share your moments of pushing through, the more these live streams will be about the topics and conversations that you and I can both grow from. All right, I think it's time to end the live stream. As I always say, do you stay swagalicious and keep smiling. Peace. All right, y'all. Stay classy out here.